welcome to the first ever Bambuddha boost this morning, everyone. Give me a you. We can't hear you, but do it anyway. Also, we're going to be doing this every single morning. My name's Anna Sheppard, founder and CEO of Bambuddha Group. We spoke to our members and wider community and asked them what we could really do to support them at this time. And they said, if you could give us lots of tips and information and get lots of experts to help us at this time, it would be the best possible gift we could give. So we've done that, and we're going to do it every morning, Monday to Friday, for as long as this goes on and maybe after. And the first speaker that we've got today is a friend of ours. You probably saw him at the Game Changers gathering last year, if anybody did come along. Harvee Pene is going to be doing a good 15 minutes for you, with lots and lots of tips and strategies of how to make sure your business can survive the next couple of months. Handing over to Harvee, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Anna, and just a huge kudos to you for having such amazing support for all your members and your world. It says so much about you at this time. And for 15 minutes, I've got 15 strategies to make sure that coronavirus doesn't kill your business. And for context, my name is Harvee Pene. I'm a best-selling author, authored one of the well-known books, Cashed Up, 7 Steps to Pull More Money, Time, and Happiness from Your Business. My accounting firm has been rated one of the top 100 companies in Australia. And just last year, I was announced as one of 10 outstanding young persons of Australia. But aside from being a numbers person, I really believe that family is number one. And here's my little world. And it's within that context that I want to kind of share with you, not just 15 strategies that I've read about in a book or that I've heard other people doing, but exactly the 15 things that I've done over the last 15 days and more to make sure that my business doesn't die. But I'm not just talking about my business in terms of my proprietary limited. You'll notice that today's, the context of today is much broader than just financial. I've got 15 strategies, actually 16, all of which I'm going to put together for you in a little ebook so you can sort of buckle yourself in and enjoy the next 15 minutes and just take a few maybe snaps of the slides that make the most sense to you. Also, as a gift, I'd love to send you a copy, an electronic copy of the book Cashed Up to help accelerate your cashed up journey through these challenging times. So strategy number one, what I did and what I recommend you do is realize what is your most important business. I truly believe that family is our most important business. So the very first thing that I did as soon as this corona craziness kind of happened was making sure that me, my wife, my daughter, and our family were all safe. We took the kids out of school, we actioned the social distancing requirements, and we made sure that we were all in a safe way, because we can make all the steps we can and want to in our business, and you might be the most cashed up person in Australia, but if you don't have your family at the end of this crisis, then what do you have? Now, it's within that context, after realizing what is our most important business, number 2 strategy is to make a decision, a really decisive decision. This isn't the first crisis I've been in. Some of you may know my story. 2.5 years ago, I was in a similar crisis where I was blindsided by cancer. For all the gents listening in today, I found a lump in an area of my body where we especially don't want to find it. I found a lump in my left nut or testicle. Sorry, Anna, are we allowed to say testicle on Bambuddha Boost? Too late, we've already done it. And 2 days later, I was here on this hospital bed, having my whole world falling down upon me because, 31 cancer, is this the end of my life? And I had the operation after being blindsided, and the doctor came up to me with 2 choices. It was decision time that I had to make once I came through with that surgery. Number 1, I could have sat back and do nothing and have the risk of perhaps the cancer coming back and perhaps not making it through this crisis. Decision number 2 he gave me was to go for chemo and radiotherapy and really blast all the remaining bits of tumor and cancer that was left in my body after removing of the cancer. But that would have come at the cost of not being able to have kids. And I didn't really love those 2 decisions, to do nothing and die, or do chemo and never have kids. And so I created a 3rd choice, and that was to heal myself naturally, to find the silver lining in this experience and to grow stronger from it. And as you know, I've now got a beautiful little girl, Havana. We actually have another one on the way. And I've been 2.5 years cancer-free. And so it's these crises that force us to make decisions. And I encourage you to be as uncomfortable as you may be right now, know that we need to make decisive decisions. And similarly, in this crisis, you have three choices. You can either decide to sort of do nothing and potentially die in a business sense. You could decide to do something, maybe take on all debt, take on all the credit cards and borrowing from all the people that you can. You might be able to scrape through, but what sort of quality of business would you have on the other side? Or you could make a decisive decision to thrive through this experience, to find the silver lining in it all, and to be able to make a decision to grow stronger from it all. And in a sense, there's no right or wrong in any of the decisions that you make. But my advice is that things are moving so fast that we need to be able to be the ones who are deciding decisively and fast, and hopefully deciding to thrive. So maybe you can pop into the chat box or the comment box. What is your decision? You're going to die, survive, or you're going to come join myself and Anna, and we're going to thrive through this together. Now, number 3 that I did was check in on your purpose or on my purpose. It was actually on that very hospital bed that I found my purpose. Before that hospital experience and before that cancer crisis, I didn't really know why I was here. I loved doing certain things in my life and my business, but it was from the gift of losing a part of me that I actually found a part of me. And for me, that was my purpose, which I articulate as to do good and inspire others. It actually formed in my business the clarity that I needed to know that actually in our business, we're on this planet for a big mission to become Australia's most impactful accounting firm. And it was also through that crisis that the silver lining that I saw was the opportunity that I had as a business owner to do more good in the world. And that's where we created our Day for Dollar Giving initiative, where for every $1 of tax we save our small business clients, we give a day of access to food, water, health, and sanitation to a family in need. We're over $10 million in tax savings as of today. And thanks to the Day for Dollar Giving initiative, over 10 million days of life-changing help given to those in need. And so you might be freaking out right now, and that's understandable because these are some scary times. But know that perhaps the silver lining in this all is that through this crisis, you might be able to ponder on why you're in this business in the first place, why you're on this planet. Ask yourself, what is it that you love? What do you think you were put on this earth to do? And what are you so passionate about that if you could do it every single day without pay, you would do that? And for some of us, we're not even getting paid right now. And so it's a really great insight as to what are the things are that we're truly most passionate about. I think number 4 is to cut the fat. I had to make some hard decisions in my personal life and my business to trim back all the unnecessary expenses so that we could buy ourselves some more time, some more life. Now, interestingly, this is a process that we go through personally and with our clients every single quarter anyway. And so as business owners, we need to be smart with our business and running a tight ship, but even more so in these challenging times. The next thing that I did that I encourage everybody to do is soak up the stimulus. There's $189 billion on the figurative table right now, 7.9% of the GDP, gross domestic product, of the entire budget of Australia right now. And so you think about the idea that we've all paid our fair share in taxes for so many years, and it's killed me and I hate it, but I truly believe that we need to pay our fair share. And this is the guy and one of the many who've received it, but now it's our turn to receive back our fair share. We've paid for the right to earn this support from the government. And personally, I think they've done a great job, but what do you reckon? Post that in the comments below. The next strategy I did, early was I diced with debt. I made sure that before things got crazy, while everyone was out buying and stocking up on toilet paper, I was stocking up on access to finance in the worst case scenario that I needed it. I've got access to credit cards now. I've got access to personal loans. I've got access to business loans. And there's even new loans that are coming out thanks to the federal government funding of up to $250,000. I think it's 2 years interest-free, 1 year no repayment. And I think the ongoing interest rate is like 2.5%. And so these are all amazing opportunities that I've sorted out and parked in my bottom drawer. I'm not going out buying Ferraris with that money. I'm not living a frivolous lifestyle as a result of it. It's why I'm calling it, I'm dicing with debt. I know that I've got those options should the right opportunities arise, but I'm also very careful and conscious of the fact that as business owners and as human beings, we have a tendency to spend everything we earn. So be very careful. Step one, get access to it in case you need it. But step two, be very, very, very careful with how we use it once we've got access to it. And all of these sort of aforementioned financial strategies might all sound fairly logical and straightforward to you, but really what it should give you, and everybody in this session today should know, the days or the weeks or the month of time that you've got up your sleeve. I use the visualization of a runway. A plane that is about to take off or a plane that is about to land needs a certain amount of distance on its runway to be able to successfully do its thing. And so you need to know as a business owner, just to calm your internal kind of craziness, to know it's okay. I've got 12 weeks of life of runway ahead of me. Or if I'm smarter, I've got 6 months of life or 1 year of life or 3 years of life. Either way, I believe you need to know the days or the weeks or the months. And if those days aren't enough, then maybe we need to look back at the original question around whether we're here to die, survive, or thrive in a business sense. The next strategy that we implemented very, very early in the piece within our business and our family is an encouragement to consume less. We realized that the virus that was spreading faster than Corona was fear itself. And in order to make smart financial decisions and get through this challenging time, we really needed to put some protections around our minds to make sure that we were immunized against fear. And that means we turned the TV off, stopped reading the newspaper when we went down for our morning coffees, even tried our best to limit what we're consuming on social media as well, because you could feel, I could feel the fear that was sort of building up inside the more and more of this stuff that I consumed. In response, I decided to kind of counter that with creating more. And so I've used some of the time that I've had to reflect, but also to work on some projects that I've always wanted to work on. One of them, I actually wrote a book, and I'd love to talk to you about this. I wrote a children's story book. My little daughter, Havana, she's almost 2 years old now, and I read lots of storybooks. And so one of the storybooks I've written in this time is a children's storybook teaching kids about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and how children can change the world, how they have that power. And so I'm really fighting this desire to get consumed in the fear by creating more valuable things for myself and my business and my daughter and the world. The next thing I did is kept the momentum going on trying to collaborate more. I hit up everybody on the phone, everybody that I cared about, but in a business context, all of my collaboration partners, starting with my suppliers. The question I asked, you might want to take a photo of this to say, hey, look, how you going? Everything okay? The family safe? There's never been a better time, I believe, for us to work together. Would you be open to a chat about how we can continue to grow our businesses, each other's businesses, amidst this changed business landscape? And why I did this is you might notice and feel that at the moment, the economy and the wheels of spending seem to be slowing down. And that might be true in the context of money. But that doesn't mean that all value exchanges can't continue. So for example, I have a supplier of mine who does all my beautiful videos on social media. He'll take a keynote that I've presented, maybe an hour long, and he'll chop it up into and do these amazing things. So on social media, I'll have 1 minute or 2 minute snippets of these videos. And so I came out to him with a creative win-win where no money or dollars were exchanged, but still we got to move forward in a collaborative and creation sense. Where on the left-hand side is that after understanding what it is that he needed right now, which was A, cash, but B, more clients that create more cash. And I needed more videos done, more production done so that I could add more value to the world. So you might want to take a photo of this and have a look at the mechanics of it. But I realized that there was so much value that I had to bring to the table that wasn't cash. I was able to introduce to him to some prospective clients where he could get new clients on board. I was able to link in that every video that we posted online, we could have a credit to say that this epic piece of content was produced by his business. And I was able to say that I'd distribute to my email and networks and database of 12,000 plus about his world. And so in a sense, I've kind of got access to $18,000 worth of value. He's got access to 3 times more than that because of the new clients that have come on board. We technically haven't exchanged a dollar, but we've kept the wheels of our own economy moving forward. The next strategy that I recommend is checking our perspective on the world right now. You can't do those sort of partnership deals. You can't do those sort of collaborations if you don't have the right mindset. So my question to you is, what can you see on the screen right now? What do you read? What are the words that you see jump out at you? And maybe you want to type it into the chat box for us, and maybe you've seen this in action before. But some of you may have seen opportunity is nowhere. And that's really the kind of summary of the world right now, where the collective consciousness is this default negative, everything is bad, the world is ending, everything's so dark. And that's just one perspective that you could choose to see. But did anyone see another perspective? Who saw opportunity is now here? You see the same words, the same context, same letters, but our perspective changed everything. In fact, there's a third one that some of you may have picked up, opportunity I snow here. That's some more of the sort of ski buffs that are out there. But it sort of proves this fact that with the same set of circumstances, with the same set of conditions, with the same set of letters, that every human and every individual can have their own perspective on what's going on in the world. And I personally choose to have the perspective that opportunity is now here. My next strategy that I recommended is I'm keeping a little list. I'm seeing all the amazing businesses that are doing amazing things, stepping up to do wonderful things for their fellow man, for their team, their customers and their employees. And that's been so beautiful. But at the same time, I'm also keeping a mental note of all the businesses who aren't. Those who are price gouging, those who are being opportunistic, those who are trying to take advantage of the system, the stimulus, the circumstances, their clients, their team, everything like that. And while I don't quite have the mental capacity or the energy right now to pursue them now, I know that once this is all over, I'm going to have the ultimate choice as a consumer to decide whether I support these organizations moving forward. So right now, I'm fuming inside at some of the bad corporate practices that are going on. But in my fuming, I'm keeping a little note and a little tab. And in the future, I'm going to be able to do something about it. And all this fuming has made me needing to relax a little bit more. And I want to suggest some productive ways to relax. One of the best movies I've just seen recently is Self-Made, inspired by Madam C.J. Walker. But you might want to take a photo of this. I don't think it's wrong necessarily to watch Netflix and chill and tune out. But we're just going to be very careful that we don't completely zone out of the work that needs to be done if we're going to thrive through this. And so I've given you a list here of some of my favorite Netflix shows, my hit list that help me to relax still and sort of tune out in a sense, but also at the same time feed my inner empire builder. And Self-Made is definitely one of the top on my list at the moment. Now I'm flying home on the home run because we're almost finished our 15. We've got to remember that we're in business to solve problems. And those problems are changing now more than ever. So we need to be on the front foot with our clients, with our prospects, and with our market to understand what is going on in their world. If you want to make more income, if you need to make more income at the moment, simply to survive or to make more of a dent in the universe, that is okay. But you need to understand that income only ever follows impact. And so first we need to realize that we're in business to solve problems. We need to understand what are the changing problems and find ways to solve those. And as long as we're making an impact, I believe the income will follow. But as long as we're out there fretting, trying to just make more money, and forgetting the fact that our clients' needs have changed, then we're probably going to be missing out on it all. And to sort of conclude, I think we really need to take a moment to get some perspective. If you're feeling a little uneasy right now, if you're living in a bit of state of uncertainty where it feels like we're living day to day, then I just encourage us to take a little deep breath and realize that for the 796 million people who find themselves living in extreme global poverty at the moment, that this is everyday life. That they're going to go to bed not knowing if they'll wake up with medicine for their kids. They'll go every day not knowing whether they'll have access to water or food. They go every day not knowing if the kids will be able to grow up with a meaningful education. We went to Cambodia a couple of years ago to see firsthand some of the impacts that we were making by means of our Day for Dollar initiative. And I took my nephew Ruben, and we got to see some of the conditions in which these kids were living in, which were really challenging. But what really blew me away is that my nephew Ruben, he's 15 years old, and so too was this little boy. And so, times are tough, and I don't discount what we're all going through right now. But it's also really important to realize the perspective of despite all the challenges we might be going through, the bonus and the 16th strategy that I recommend is that we all give more. We take this opportunity to give more because I believe that when we're giving more, we're at our best. And to be able to survive through these circumstances, through this crisis, in the end, I think we just need to be at our best. So Anna, thanks for your patience going a touch over time. I just got so passionate about sharing all of these 15/16 strategies to make sure that coronavirus doesn't kill our business.
Thank you so much, Harvey. Can we give him a round of applause? You can't hear it, but give him a round of applause anyway. And I hope that gave you a really good boost this morning. It certainly has me. And we're definitely massively grateful to Harvey because they were some juicy tips. I was like taking some serious notes then, like, why didn't I think of that already? So thank you for sharing that and for joining us again. If you did enjoy this today and it did give you a little bit of a boost, we're doing it all over again tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Marianne Power, talking about keeping it together. Quite literally, how are we keeping it together? She's going to give tips and advice and support that can help you make sure you can continue being a different kind of leader at this time. Thank you very much. Tune in tomorrow. Lots of love from Harvey and myself. Take care.
Thanks, Dean.